everyone, welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
Hello, class.
Today, we are going to take a look at a motherboard. It's not a single board computer, I would say. Maybe you might call it that, but it's actually, as you might have seen in the video title, it's Radxa Orion O6, which is basically a mini ITX ARM v9 motherboard. And it comes with 12 CPU cores and staggering 64 gigabytes of RAM. And it is basically positioned, from what I can see on Radxa's website and other places and some articles that's written about it, like a desktop class AI development board. You can say it is taking some from Raspberry Pi and also from Jetson and NVIDIA Jetson series, so the motherboard comes with the CPU, and there's also like GPIO and other stuff, and it comes with an optional AI PC kit to make it, like, again, as I said, for desktop class AI development board of some sort, okay. Now, in terms of the CPU, it comes with 4 Cortex A720 big cores, and that is 2.8 gigahertz, and comes with 4 Cortex A72 medium cores, which is 2.4 gigahertz, and comes with 4 Cortex A520 little cores, and those are 1.8 gigahertz. And it comes with 12 megabyte L3 cache it's shared across all 12 cores. And in terms of graphics for GPU, it comes with ARM Immortalis G720 MC10 graphics, and it's a 10 core Mali GPU basically. There is also hardware ray tracing, and it supports very modern APIs like, like Vulkan 1.3, OpenGL 3.2, OpenCL 3.0. So modern APIs, it is supported. And it is basically a desktop level, like mobile GPU of some sort, okay? There is also, on top of this, there is an NPU AI accelerator, which can deliver up to 30 TOPS for int 8 and int 4 AI workloads, basically. So that's a lot. So it's definitely, I don't think you can call it SBC. So it's a motherboard, and it's a very powerful one. And from what I see, okay, don't quote me on that. I know every time I say something in the video and then you go out and try to buy it, it's not matching the price. But from the price I got from the vendor, and what they're saying is O6 8 gigabyte is $210 bucks. O6 16 gigabyte is $250. O6 32 is $311, and O6 64 is $461. So O6 64 gigabyte RAM is $461. That's the expensive one, and the cheapest one, O6 8 gigabyte, is $211. Okay, so kind of like 2 Raspberry Pi 5s fully featured ones, like if you add the cooling and the hat for NVMe SSDs. So 2 of those will make 210. So yeah, something like that. And in terms of memory, it is actually DDR5. Just so you know, I don't think I mentioned it before. And it's on a 128-bit bus. And as I said, 8 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte, 32, and 64. And the speed is 5,500 MT per second, okay? Which is like 100 gigabytes memory bandwidth, something like that. So keep that in mind. And in terms of storage, there is a PCIe Gen 4 X4 M.2 M key. So you can add your very fast NVMe SSDs in there. And you know what? Let me take it out. So I got both of them. So this is a Radxa Orion O6, okay? Honestly, I don't know what RAM version is this. And this is the O6 AI PC development kit. So no idea what to expect, what's in there, but we are gonna open it up together and see what's in there. They were kind enough to send me both. I'm not sure if it's like a duplicate, but yeah, this is ARM AI PC motherboard. This is Orion O6 AI PC. So I guess this is like a case of sorts for this, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, the specs I talked about, LPDDR5, as I said, ARM v9, and I covered mini ITX and all that stuff. Yeah, there's even more here. Yeah, there you go. OpenGL ES, OpenCL, Vulkan, NPU, up to 30. Yeah, we talked about all this. And video outputs, 1 display, 1 HDMI, 1 display port, and 1 EDP port. Okay, so let's take it out and actually, nice, I like this. let's take a look at it and see what's happening in there. Okay, I'm gonna keep this around. I don't know, dual 5 gigabit Ethernets. I love it. That's awesome for a change. I always see like 2.5. This is the first time I'm seeing one with dual 5 gigabit Ethernet. Well, some might say I would have preferred one 10 gigabit, but that, yeah, you know, it's having two is good. You can do certain projects that you can't do with a single. So anyway, dual 5 gigabits. And yeah, we talked about other stuff. All right, I'm gonna keep this around. That's very helpful. Let's keep going. Okay, that's a bunch of stickers, which is very nice. And I'm super excited. I just want to get my hands on this thing and boot it. Okay, so it comes with IO shield or whatever some people might call it, brace. Anyway, so let's go. Let's see what's in there. That is one beautiful, beautiful motherboard. It is beautiful. This is nice. Okay, so not much going on almost at all. So there's just the camera 1, camera 0 in the back, so that's easy. There you go. You see, this is the usual Radxa color-coded GPIO pins. So it's not SBC. I don't know. Would you call it SBC? It's, I mean, single board computer. So yes, it is a single board computer, but it's a gigantic one. I don't know. So you might call it, yeah, it might be SBC, you might call it, but it's a motherboard with a CPU and SoC in there. And yeah, I'm gonna probably use this to power it. GPIO is there. I think this is standard. I don't think, yeah. I believe here's what happened. I bought this and they sent me this. That's what I remember. I'm gonna be honest, it's been a while. Just been waiting in my list of things to do. So finally I found some time to go through this. So yeah. We're gonna, anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is I just have to add a battery in there, and I think I have to take off this top part. So let's go first talk about the IO over here. These are two 5 gigabit per second Ethernet ports, okay, and display port, HDMI port, USB 3. These two are USB 3.2 Gen 2 10 gigabit per second ports. And these are the same. These are also USB 3.2 Gen 2. And these are also 10 gigabit per second from what I remember in the specs. And these are just regular USB 2.0 Type A. So you can just connect mouse and keyboard there basically. This is the power button. It's a tiny, but it's mighty. You can turn the board on and off with this. The typical exact same color coding as the always. I love that uniformity across all Radxa products. This GPIO, and I love the color coding and the front panel stuff, audio, UART. Wow, okay. And you can see the NVMe SSD over here. You can plug also the Wi-Fi card over there. And yeah, this is beautiful. This is impressive. Yeah, so from what I can tell, yep, that's the only way. I thought maybe there is another way of powering it. No, this is it. So you have to power it just like a regular motherboard, 24 ATX 24 pin connector basically. As you can see on the specs page, it says one PCIe X16 physical slot. So this is X16 physical slot with PCIe Gen 4 8 lane. So you know those PCIe 8 lane ones? So it is a like size of X16 and the full size PCIe, but it's actually PCIe Gen 4 X8. So it's just the X8 lane, okay? So it's like a half size of sort for PCIe. But I'm gonna try to connect something over here and see what it can do. And there's also USB header over there. All right, I think we covered pretty much everything, and I love it that it comes already pre-installed with the heat sink and everything. At the end of our test, I'm gonna take it out and take a look at it, but first I just wanted to use it as is and see how it does. So that being said, let me take this out and see what this one is. What's the difference? Okay, so yeah, I think this is the kit. It's just it doesn't come with a motherboard. It's a kit to turn this into like a full-blown computer, I think. We'll see. Okay, yep, it's hollow. Okay, so basically you can place this inside this, and it comes with a bunch of stuff. So let's see what it comes with. So it comes with the aluminum alloy top cover, plastic bottom cover, middle frame, unibody heatsink, PCIe X16 slot to Oculink adapter. Okay, where is that? Is it this? Hold on. Do I need a scissor to? Oh no, it's open. Okay. Okay. So this, no, actually, This is PCIe slot X16 to NVMe SSD slot. As you can see, NVMe, and this is actually, this is very nice. I think I can use this with other computers as well, but you never know. All right, that's you have to remove that, by the way, if you want to use it. It's if not obvious, but I think it is. Anyway, let me remove this. And this one, there's also the double-sided tape, I think, to hold this in place. But yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's Oculink, isn't it? Yeah, PCIe X16 to Oculink V1. Yeah, so as I said, there is a tape around this, so you have to remove it, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so you get two adapters. So that's the basically development kit, AI PC development kit. When you buy that, you get these two and the case and mounting screw and rubber pad. So yeah, these are mounting screws. And what is this? That is, I think, it doesn't say there, but let's take this out. Okay, so this is the thermal compound, basically thermal paste. And this is front panel LED board. Okay, so it goes over here, I think, and that's for the front panel. So that's the light for that. Okay, and there is also a button for power. Okay, let's open this. So apparently it comes already screwed, the bottom cover. So bottom, as the specs are saying, the bottom is plastic. The top is aluminum, so keep that in mind. So let's open this up. Okay, wow, there's more stuff in here. What is going on here? Wow, okay, that's beefier. Is it beefier though? Yeah, it looks beefier, and I would say this looks nicer. So now you know why I think they sent the thermal compound, because you can take this off and place this in place of the this one. So, and yeah, here basically you are going to, so that's the middle frame, but is it? Yeah, well, I have to take off. Yep, I have to take off the glass bottom and basically put everything in there. As we are going to replace the heatsink, you might as well just see what's underneath. So let's take a look at it. It says CIX CD8180. Well, not much going on. And then underneath, that's Mandarin, Chinese. I can't read that, but yeah. All right, I don't think I will use their thermal compound. I have my own. I will put that in there and place this in there. Let me see the orientation first. Yeah, very tight fit. I can see the screws. Okay, anyway, that's how it is. So what I'm going to do is I am going to remove this. We are going to go all the way in now, since we are committed to the bit. So we are going to just swap. Do I need to take off this? Yep, looks like we also have to take off this. So why do they ship it pre-screwed in, everything assembled, if I am going to basically take out everything, you know, in order to put it in there? Anyway, that's more work for me. Finally, we took that out. So here you go. Okay, this is the orientation, and that's the power button. That will go right over there. But before doing that, first let me see. This one gotta go back over here. But what it is going to mount to, okay, so it's just holding the motherboard in place. The thing is, if I put this, it's kind of going to cover the ATX power connector. Okay, let me figure this out and then we take it from there. All right, fellas, I figured it out. Orion O6 in its computer AI PC kit, okay? And it's this way, so this is bottom. I have to just put this in there and it will work. So long story short, I installed the Oculink adapter, okay? I put the bracket, the middle bracket at the end, and before everything, I just installed the cooling fan, and I applied my own thermal grizzly thermal paste. Placed this, and then I placed the power button in there and put the motherboard, 4 screws for the motherboard, and then I placed the middle bracket, and that's it, honestly. With no, you know, you don't even need to read documentation. Only thing I checked the documentation for was you see the ATX is completely covered and you can't really use the ATX powering. The icon was right here. As you can see, you can power it using the USB-C ports, okay? So you don't need it. Basically, all I have to do is just to place this. So the orientation is basically, you see where the IO is, okay? This part comes there, look, like that. That's it, okay? So, and then you put in 4 screws and ta-da! You have a beautiful, beautiful computer, AI kit, AI desktop, whatever you want to call it, AI developer kit. So yeah, this is Orion O6 from Radxa. And the case is just gorgeous, just gorgeous. I love it. All right, so enough chit chat. And by the way, there is like the rubber feet, so that goes right over there, okay? Over the screws. I'm not gonna do that now because I'm gonna open and close, open and close. One of the things that I haven't done yet is actually I have to place an NVMe SSD right over there. So I am going to remove that tape. And yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show you guys up to this point. Now I'm going to put an NVMe SSD over there and connect the cables and everything and power it on, and then I'm going to show you what I can do with this bad boy. Give me a couple of minutes. Okay, so I have this over here so we can see the power consumption. Hopefully you can see, probably not. So I'm going to tell you it's 1.9 watts for now, okay? And we are doing nothing. I just plugged the USB-C cable, okay? What I did was I just burned the USB image Debian 12 to this, and they say in the Radxa's support page that this is an installer. So you basically take this and install it on the NVMe SSD that is already in the system. So I am going to power it on. Okay, there you go. 8 volts, 9.8, 13 watts, 11 watts. Okay, 13 watts. It's absolutely silent, by the way. I'm not hearing anything at all. Okay, so here we are seeing escape for boot options, by the way. Orion O6 device 3. I guess. I just want to get to the BIOS so I can select the boot device. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so we are in BIOS. As you can see here, there is the device manager, system information, Radxa Orion O6, 16 gigabyte. Okay, so I have 16 gigabyte version. Just keep that in mind. And here are the other information regarding the version and all that stuff. Platform configuration, CPU max frequency, let's go 2.6. GPU max frequency, let's go 1.1. Network stack is not needed. Did I save that? Yeah. OS hardware description, secure boot configuration, and network device list. That's it. Okay. So we are boot manager. Yeah, here I see my USB device now. Okay. And boot maintenance manager. Okay, so let's go to the boot and let's boot from the USB. Okay, so I just want to let you know one thing, and it's the fact that you have to wait. Okay, I got impatient and kept rebooting. When you click on boot from USB, you have to wait. Okay, and then it boots into this Debian environment, and apparently you have to locate the Balena etcher, and then there is the Debian image in there somewhere, and we have to flash that into the NVMe SSD that's on this disk. I don't know if we really need the Balena for this. Maybe DD works, but I'm not gonna play around. I just want to do what the documentation says. So the documentation says choose the Balena etcher and then pick up the, oh yeah, let's locate that. Let me see if that's in there. It should be somewhere in the home folder or something. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, it was my faulty flash. So it was that was the problem. So I switched, everything is fine now. Here is the Debian desktop image. You select that, and here we are going to select the NVMe SSD that's in there, and flash. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I just now have to wait for the USB. This is the live image. So I'm going to flash now the Debian 12 into NVMe SSD and boot from there. By the way, as we are doing this stuff, I don't know if that's really visible in the camera, but 15 watts, okay, 15.7 watts. All right, I'm not gonna bother you with this. I'm gonna let it flash, boot into Debian, and then we take it from there. Okay, so as you can see, we have a flash to the USB. So what I'm going to do is I am going to remove this and reboot in the worst way possible. Okay, and now I am going to power it, and hopefully this will just boot into the operating system. I just want you to see this part, and then I will take some time to install a lot of tools. Okay, so it's going, I'm not even touching that. Let's see if it boots with the NVMe SSD. Drum roll. And it does. Okay, that's it. All right, I just wanted to show you guys that it works. Now give me some time, let me install a bunch of tools, and I will be right back. Okay, so we are back, and I did a bunch of tests, so I know what's up, but I just want to show you guys what's going on here. So I am going to have this P sensor over here, okay? All right, so first things first, so NeoFetch, here you can see it is ARM64 Debian 12. And we have the Radxa operating system, and the CPU is right over there. One thing is very strange, but whenever I do stress ng, it just reboots. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't have the time to deal with that, but yeah, anyway, so we are going to do a sysbench basically in place of stress ng that we usually do. So you can see the power consumption when I'm doing that. It is going up to 21 watts, okay? So that's like, I've seen 25 when I was running LLMs, so this is not really even the cap, but yeah, here we go. So what we are getting is basically 26K, okay? So that's 2.5 times in this test, 2.5 times of a Raspberry Pi 5. But that's not really a good test. But that being said, I just want to show you guys also the Ollama test. So I downloaded a bunch. I actually had all the results on the screen. Just rebooted again. I don't know what happened, but I am going to try to just show you guys simple ones. I had longer tests. I did some Ollama tests with more complicated prompts. I am just going to ask a simple question because I just want to see how it does, that's all. And as you can see, the power consumption goes up to 30 watts actually. So you can see that it is even higher now, 29.5, let's call it 30, yeah, 31.5. So the fans also ramp up, and you can see the temperatures over there, and CPU usage is 97%. And you can see the temperatures really do not go anything higher than like 50, 60-ish. I don't think I ever see 70 over there. And you can see how it is doing with Qwen 3 and 14B variant, okay? That model is like 10 gigabyte. And as you can see, it's very, very fast at 33 watts. So when fans even ramp up more, it goes even higher. So yeah, there you go. So we have like 5 tokens a second on this model. And another model that I just want to very quickly show you guys. So I'm going to show you the higher, so you can extrapolate the smaller ones, right? Yeah, so this is the DeepSeek R1 14B. I tried to run one higher, so let me ask this and then wait. So I tried to run 32B, but the problem I'm running into obviously is the RAM. So the RAM that I have over here is 16. So if you get the version that's 64, yes, you can absolutely run that. And this one we are getting like 4.7, same thing. So I'm gonna say generalization, I'm gonna say 14B models, you're gonna get 4.5 till 5.5 tokens a second, okay? So it is really, really fast. And I just also tried a couple other things, like, you know, how to use operating system, like, you know, just as you can see. Okay, as you can see, how it loads pages and everything, right? And how usable it is. It is absolutely usable, very, very snappy in terms of like day-to-day surfing web and all that stuff. That is obviously given. But yeah, let's try this video very quickly. I am just going to show you 4K stats for nerds. I just want you to see that it plays obviously 4K, and it is using 20 watts, okay, 16, 17, 20 watts, and it is dropping absolutely no frames, okay? I mean, just one there doesn't count. So, I mean, it just plays 4K, and I can't even go like this, like full screen. And my resolution, by the way, my computer's resolution, this one I'm recording from, is actually also 4K. So you can see very smoothly, it's playing a 4K video with no stutter, no frame being dropped. So yeah, it can obviously handle that. I also even did like GL mark, but as I said, it rebooted, all the scores gone. It takes some time, so let's, I will let it run, but I just wanted to show you guys that it is running perfectly. And as you can see, the drivers are there. So I'm just happy to see that vendors are listening, and every operating system that they're releasing, now it comes with the appropriate, you know, NPU drivers, GPU drivers, and everything out of box in the operating system that they are providing is working. That's huge. That's huge. So a couple things, I'm gonna be very honest about this. So it does have a phenomenal AI performance. With 30 watts, we are getting 5 tokens a second on a 14B model, okay? And I'm sure if you place a 64 gigabyte, you can run much larger models and you still get 2-3 tokens a second. It's snappy, it's fast, and everything is stock. I downloaded Ollama, everything worked. APT and packages and installing everything very fast, very smooth. And but one thing that I really didn't like is just sudden freeze, and sometimes reboot. I'm gonna do it so you can also see it on the camera after this. Basically, if I run stress-ng and use every single core to the max, it just reboots. I thought it is something related to BIOS and the overclocking thing that I did initially in the video. I went back there and reverted that. Didn't make any difference. It just still does that. So basically, by the way, all these tests you are seeing is original default reverted BIOS speed, that where I changed the frequency from 2.5 to 2.6, remember, for CPU and GPU in the beginning of the video. Yeah, I reverted that. So this is the results that you're seeing for Ollama, and everything is stock results, okay? And yeah, if I do a stress-ng, it's gonna go boom. And I wish I could say that was the only time, but as I said, I had so many windows on my screen. I just wanted to start recording. I might actually have like a screenshot of it. I will try to put it here. Yeah, so as you can see, I had a lot of results on the screen. I ran every single model with different prompts. I just wanted to scroll through it and show you guys, but it just, as soon as I ran the P sensor and then I was doing another Ollama test, it just rebooted. But it could be just me, it could be my power supply, it could be my power cable, it could be anything, I don't know. It just, in my case, that happened. But if you ignore that, as you can see right now, it's running, it's up, and everything is functioning. I just did a bunch of Ollama and you saw it. And now I'm running GL mark, I played 4K video, it's doing fine. So absolutely, I can use this as my daily driver, and I can use this to do every usual daily task, and it can do a lot of video encoding and decoding as well with no problem, no trouble at all. Drivers are already there and installed and working fine. And yeah, the one thing I just remembered I didn't do is actually the iPerf test. So let me just very quickly confirm. Okay, and we are getting 3 point something. So it's 5 gigabits ish. I can't say that's 5 gigabit, but I don't know. That's what I'm getting. So yeah, 3.4, 3.5. I was expecting a little bit higher, but yeah, it's definitely higher than 2.5. Remember, when you have a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and you're doing this exact same test bidirectional, you are going to get 2.35. And here I have 5 and I'm running it. It's obviously much faster than 2.5 gigabit, but I'm getting like 3.3. I was expecting a little bit more, but it's still much faster than 2.5. Just make sure your router actually supports these all different speeds. If that's the case, you're good. So yeah, I just, you know, all the Ollama models here, basically, as you can see, Qwen R1, ignore the 33B, that didn't work on this one, because again, this is 16 gigabyte RAM. You get a higher gigabyte RAM, like 64 gigabyte RAM version, yeah, that will run. But 14B, 8B, 7B, Llama 31, that's easy, that's simple. But these all performed phenomenally. It's just very fast, and the minimum I got from the 14B models and this Qwen and the DeepSeek R1, both of them 14B, and you saw it on the screen, it just gives you like 5 tokens a second. But this 8 one, I was getting 9 tokens a second. Sometimes even higher, but yeah, this is like an optimum speed for this computer, for 16 gigabyte version again. When I say optimum, by the way, here's the GLMark score. Okay, we finished with that. And if I run Ollama, run, let's say 8B model verbose, okay, just some stupid question. There you go. You see it's running, okay. So imagine you really want to enter a prompt and get the response. You know, 5 tokens a second is acceptable, but it is slow. You're gonna see the characters being printed on the screen. But when you see like 8B models, absolutely, this will crush. And you can see the power consumption. It doesn't go above 27. So 25, 27, 25, 27, just goes up and down, up and down. You can see that right there, hopefully. Screen is a little bit dim to my liking, but it is what it is, yeah. So you can see, okay, now it got to 29 for a second. You can see, like, we are using 19.7 volt, by the way, and 1.3 amps. So 25 watts, and you get a phenomenal performance in like 8B models. And it's overall very fast, very powerful computer for low power, and it's relatively quiet. So when the fans ramp up all the way, right now, yeah, you hear some fan. It's very quiet, but you can tell some fan is running here. But when it's not all the way like this, all hot, all cores, yeah, you can tell that it is up and running, okay? So overall, I'm impressed for the price, especially. So like the 8 gigabyte version base model is like $200, and it comes with the motherboard and the CPU and all the I/O. Everything else is the same. This is, just remember, this is the case and the kit, AI PC kit, whatever. And this is different. But the base motherboard, with that glass panels on both sides and 8 gigabyte RAM, $200, very fair, very fair. Yeah, there you have it. You see, it's 9 tokens, as I said, 9 tokens for 8B models. Absolutely, you can use this, and you can actually really throw some questions at it, ask some programming question and get the answer. For the 8B, you can absolutely wait. The answer comes fast, relatively fast to you. So yeah, I mean, everything worked fine. No complications that I ran into. Everything I wanted, I got it to work, and graphics are also working fine. So, by the way, don't think I forgot the Oculink. I have this external GPU turned on, connected through Oculink. I just couldn't get it to work. I tried the open source GPU open driver for AMD. For ARM, there's not really much going on. So if you guys know how to get an external GPU through Link working in Linux, let me know. I couldn't get it to work, but I see stuff in there, but it's not really working. So if you get it to work, let me know, but I couldn't get it to work. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you know how I can get this external 760 AMD GPU in this working. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want me to do some other special things and tests on this, let me know. This is the Debian that the Radxa provided, and I wanted to use this because all the drivers and everything is installed in there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.